Welcome back everyone, it's Eric from Eric Candy here. Today we are back with another entry into our testing round series, taking a look at some more new Sword and Shield decks. And of course for this video today, we're going to be taking a look at the Morpeko V, Lillie's Pokédoll deck, and Zacian V. But this time we're going to be taking a look at Zacian with Lucario and Melmetal GX. So I'm actually going to be on the left. I'm playing Morpeko, and my buddy Jeremy Small, he's a local player from my area. He's nice enough to help me record this video. He's going to be playing the new Zacian V over there on the right. So it looks like we're getting all ready to get set up. We'll have to see who's going to go first here. And showing Jeremy have that Absol. Going to be a pain for his Jirachis there. As of course the Absol is going to increase the retreat cost of basic Pokemon by 1. And so I'm just going to get an attachment down Morpeko V and just pass here, it looks like. So not too much of an explosive turn on my end, but I got down an attachment on my main attacker. That's kind of the main thing I'm looking for here. So it looks like Jeremy's going to go for a Stellar Wish. We see a Professor's Research there, and a Skateboard, Metal Saucer. It looks like he's going to go for Metal Saucer. So we'll have to see what else is going to be in his hand. I think I would rather have seen maybe the Skateboard, potentially, or the Professor's Research. So let's see what he's going to do here. Looks like he has a Marnie in hand. Looks like he's going to go for Cynthia and Caitlin. Just drawing 3. So if he had the Marnie, I think would have rather seen him go for that. But maybe he's thinking, well, Eric didn't really do much on his first turn. Maybe I don't want to like reset his hand for him. So maybe that's kind of what he was thinking here. So here Jeremy's going to find a tag call. So at the very least that will allow him to get a Lucario and Melmetal GX. So he's going to go right for that. And he gets one other tag team card. We'll see if he's going to go for Mallow and Lana, or maybe another Cynthia and Caitlin. So it looks like he's going to go for another Cynthia and Caitlin, just to give himself the option to draw some more cards with that on the next turn, potentially. So he's going to get down that Lucario and Melmetal GX. And does he have a switch or anything like that? Okay, he does have a switch. So he will be able to use that Full Metal Wall GX attack. That's going to reduce my damage done to his metal Pokemon by 30 for the rest of the game. So basically the Zacian deck he's playing is just trying to tank hits and ensure that things can't one-shot him. So Lucario Melmetal is definitely a good way of doing that. So here I'm going to go for, it looks like a Quick Ball, just trying to think what I want to discard here. Looks like I'm going to get rid of a Morpeko V Max here. So going for a Jirachi, it looks like. Just to try to use Stellar Wish this turn. So here looks like I'm just taking a peek through my decks, seeing what I have access to. So I'm just getting the Jirachi down, I guess, in anticipation of Absol getting knocked out. But, you know, we'll have to see. Because Jeremy would need a switch and a Zacian with 3 energy on it. So I actually think maybe in hindsight, I didn't need to Quick Ball this turn. Because I kind of would have liked to have saved the Morpeko V Max here for the late game. You know, mainly this deck is based around Morpeko V, not the V Max, but I still like having the option for like a bigger, tankier Pokemon to like close out the game with. So here, let's see what Jeremy benched. It's hard for me to really see. It looks like he benched a Galarian Meowth. So the Berserker line in this list is actually more for like mirror matches that also play Frying Pan, but the Berserker actually can be like kind of relevant for this matchup. It's going to increase the damage of metal Pokemon by 20. So that could be good at knocking out Jirachis, just as an example with Lucario Melmetal. So it looks like Jeremy's going to discard a Marnie and draw 3 cards here with that Cynthia and Caitlin. Still no sign of a Zacian yet, so here's going to get down a Metal Frying Pan. No Quick Ball either, so here he's also going to go for a Pokemon Catcher. Going to flip Tails on that. So Pokemon Catcher, of course, did get a reprint in the most recent set. It's just flip the coin to pad, switch your opponent's active with one of their bench Pokemon. And just a pass back over to me. So kind of a slow start. Jeremy's been really unfortunate not being able to find a Zacian. Hasn't found a Quick Ball or like an actual physical Zacian yet. So bit of a slow start from both of us. Here, just a draw pass. As you guys can see, I'm sitting on that Rosa in my hand right now. Just kind of waiting for something to go down. That way I can activate that. But I really don't mind. And here it looks like Jeremy is going to go for the Marnie. And so Marnie, if you guys aren't familiar with it, new support card. Both players shuffle their hands, put their hands at the bottom of their decks. Then you draw 5 and your opponent draws 4. So it looks like Jeremy's going to get down another skateboard down on the other Jirachi. Now, of course, those Jirachi still do need an additional energy if they want to retreat because of that Absol, something to keep in mind. And Jeremy does finally find himself a quick ball, so finally finding his main attacker, Zacian V here. You know, more than likely, I'd imagine we'll probably see him just end his turn with Intrepid Sword. But here looks like Jeremy's going to go for a tag call first, finding 2 tag team supporters. I think all he has in deck now is the 2 Mallow and Lana, which is fine. That can be nice at helping his Pokemon tank some hits throughout the game. And then again, I'd imagine we're just going to see Intrepid Sword. That's the ability on Zacian. You look at the top 3 cards of your deck, attach any number of metal energies there, and then you keep the other cards. So basically a draw 3, end your turn effectively. So let's see what I'm going to do in response to this. I could retreat into Jirachi and just go for a Stellar Wish. I think that's an option. Here you guys can see I'm a little bit conflicted. Do I want to just keep powering up the Morpeko, or do I want to start Stellar Wishing? So here I'm going to go for a Quick Ball. Going to discard a Pokemon Communication in the process. So maybe going for another... Okay, so I'm going to go for a Rangaroo. So maybe that tells me I will be retreating into Jirachi potentially. I'm not sure, but here... Yeah, so here I'm going to do that. Going to Stellar Wish, look at the top 5 cards of my deck, and I do find myself Volkner and Rosa. I could actually play the Volkner this turn and just guarantee myself some more cards. So here I can do that. So grab a Lightning Energy and a, not a trainer card, but an item card in my deck. So could grab another Lillie's Pokédoll, could grab a Quick Ball even to maybe find another Jirachi. Could find Counter Gain. If Counter Gain is in my deck, yeah, so that looks like that is what I'm going to be going for here. Going to preemptively grab that in case Jeremy does take a knockout on this Jirachi. I can slap that Counter Gain down, and if I'm behind on prizes, my attacks cost 1 colorless less. And I still have that Oranguru in play as well, so that will allow me to draw a little bit more. I think maybe I should have gotten down Jirachi instead of that, just in case this active goes down. But nevertheless, the Rangaroo is still a nice little consistency booster. Allows you to replace the top card of your deck with a card in your hand. So it looks like Jeremy is going to attach to this Lucario Melmetal here. Now, if he can actually find the Galarian Berserker, he can take a knockout on this Jirachi here. He's going to get down an Oranguru of his own. Going to use that ability to replace a card in his hand with his top deck. And let's see what he's going to do from there. I think he has a Professor's Research. So he did, it looks like he put back a Mallow and Lana back on top of his deck. That way he didn't have to discard it potentially. So he's going to be looking for that Galarian Berserker. He does get down a Chaotic Swell. That's actually really good because that will prevent me from getting on Thunder Mountain to attack with Morpeko a little bit more easily. So he's going to get down a Metal Energy onto Zacian V with that Metal Saucer card. It's going to allow him to attach a Metal Energy from discard to one of his bench Pokemon. So from there, let's see what he's going to do. He's just going to attack with Steel Fist. That's the first attack on Lucario Melmetal GX. Hits for 50, you search your deck for a Metal Energy and attach it. So kind of fortunate there, Jirachi did not get knocked out, can buy myself a turn of just kind of setting up a little bit more. One thing that is nice about the Morpeko deck, it's really not too aggressive. You don't really mind just kind of sitting back and taking your time in a lot of instances. So it looks like I'm going to go for a Volkner, grabbing a Skateboard and a Lightning Energy here. So it looks like I'm going to use a Rangaroo to replace a card in my hand with my top deck. Got another Morpeko, nothing too special. So here I'm just going to retreat into a Lillie's Pokédoll, get down another Lillie's Pokédoll, and then just pass. That way I can save my Jirachi in the process here. So Jeremy at the least can definitely knock out this Lillie's Pokédoll if he chooses to, but let's see what else he can do this turn. I think if he's able to get Pokemon Catcher plus Galarian Berserker and knock out this Morpeko, that actually could be really big. We'll have to see what he's going to do here. Didn't get a good look at his hand. See, he has a Jirachi there. I think he had a Metal Saucer as well. But if there's nothing else he really needs, he doesn't mind just knocking out this Pokédoll. So it's going to get one more energy down on this Lucario Melmetal GX. So the second attack on Lucario Melmetal hits for 150. Not too great, but again, if he ever does get that Galarian Berserker in play, he actually can knock out not Dedenne, Morpeko. They basically look the same. I seem to mix them up. But let's see. I'm gonna Star Wish, go for a Marnie. going to attach. And I do have counter gain. I could get that down preemptively if I want to. I think if I do, I would attach it to the other Morpeko. That seems like that would be kind of the right move here. So I'm going to do that, play a Marty of my own. So I'm going to put Jeremy out of 4-card hand. I'm going to get 5 here. And so let's see. I'm going to use a Ranger's ability. And then I'm going to use Stadium Nav to reshuffle the order of my deck. But unfortunately, I do flip Double Tails, not able to search my deck for Thunder Mountain. But basically there, I was just trying to rearrange my top deck there. Didn't really care about the stadium specifically, but here I'm just going to attack with Morpeko, and it's just going to do 90 damage because he has a Metal Frying Pan and he used Full Metal Wall. So not really doing too much damage against this Zacian deck. It's very, very tanky, and it looks like Jeremy does find himself a Pokemon catcher and flips Tails again. So you guys can see the coin flips have not been on our side. We flipped Tails on both of our sides for all 4 coin flips this game. That feels really bad. Maybe I need to change my die I'm using. Maybe that's the issue. I don't know, but let's see. It looks like Jeremy's going to get down another Metal Energy here on this Zacian. And here he's going to go for a Professor's Research, filling his hand to 7. So he has to discard his hand, draw 7 cards here. But of course he didn't have anything to discard, which is nice. So I imagine we'll probably just see another Steel Fist, I believe is the first attack, to knock out this Pokédoll. So knocking out another Pokédoll here with Lucario Melmetal. Luckily I'm really not threatening a big knockout. I'm only hitting for 90 right now. So here I'm going to get a Marnie off of this Stellar Wish. I might be going back and playing that again. So I'm going to get down another Lightning Energy and going to go for a Marnie. So Jeremy's going to have to go back down to a 4-card hand, and I'm going to get 5. And I do have Thunder Mountain. I could consider just playing that, just to burn it. I'm probably not going to be able to use it the rest of the game. That's my only stadium. Have no other way to bump Chaotic Swell. So maybe a Marshadow could be something to consider in this list to deal with decks that play Swell. But nevertheless, I mean, we have Morpeko powered up, so it's really not even too big of a deal right now. So here, looks I'm thinking, going to use a Ranger to put Volkner back on top of my deck here. Gonna get down a Lillie's Pokédoll, and I do finally find Recycle Energy as well. So I can't play it this turn just because I already attached, but on future turns I can just discard that instead of discarding these Lightning Energies every time I attack. So here, just gonna put up another Pokédoll, and Jeremy's gonna get down another Chaotic Swell. Not really too worried about it. Thunder Mountain's the only stadium actually in this particular list, so the Chaotic Swell really doesn't hurt anything at this point. And Jeremy has another Pokemon catcher. If he can find that, that would be really, really nice for him. So hopefully one of us can flip a heads on some sort of coin flip throughout the course of this series. So another Pokemon catcher. And he does finally hit heads. That's good. He's going to bring up this Morpeko V. And he is going to be... Well, he does need Galarian Berserker, or he does need to actually retreat to be able to knock out this... To knock this Morpeko out. So he's going to go for Professor's Research. If he can find the Berserker or a switch, Zacian V will also do the trick as well. So let's see what he has. He definitely needs a switch, or he could manually retreat. It would cost 4 energy, but I think he just kind of has to here. There's no way he can avoid taking this knockout. But here he's going to go for a switch. So preserving all the energy on the Lucario Melmetal. And here with Zacian V, he can use that attack. I believe it's Brave Blade. It does 230, and then Zacian can't attack on the following turn. So let's see. We're just checking what Jeremy's used at this point. I'm not sure what I was tracking in his discard pile here, but after a while, Jeremy's finally going to take the first batch of prizes in this game. And so now my counter gain is active. So I only need 2 energy, or 2 lightning energy specifically on this Morpeko. So there's a Rosa. I could play the Rosa here. It looks like that's what I'm contemplating. So I probably want to get a Tapu Koko Prism Star and a lightning energy at the very least. And if I have another Lillie's Pokédoll, I think that's what I want to get. or even maybe Great Catcher potentially, to pick off this Lucario and Melmetal. So here I'm just kind of weighing my options. Basically, I'm thinking about going for... I remember thinking about going for the catcher because I know Jeremy plays healing options in this deck, and I kind of want to capitalize on the fact that this thing is already pretty beat up, and I want to kind of take it out of play before like it gets healed maybe. But also, I do think there are some cons to maybe going for the Lucario Melmetal here, because if I were to do that, that actually resets Zacian's attack, and he'll be able to attack next turn. So I think there's a world where I just go for the attack on the active. I kind of think that's okay. I think that's probably the better long-term play, unless there's something in my prizes that I'm specifically trying to hunt down. Like if I prize something I feel like is important, I think I should go for the Great Catcher. But if not, I think I want to force Jeremy to find more switches and you know, more, or force him to hard retreat this Zacian to be able to attack with something else. So I honestly think that's the better long-term strategy. But again, maybe I have something prized. I'm going to go for the Great Catcher. So I'm going to attach to the Morpeko. Going to burn the Tapu Koko Prism Star here. So getting an energy onto the Morpeko and on the Absol, maybe just to potentially give myself a retreater at some point. So you're just going to retreat, knock out the Lucario Melmetal GX. Now, the one thing that's actually bad about this too is I actually deactivated my own counter gain in this instance. So now I actually do need probably to take a turn off from attacking because I took that knockout. So that is something that is honestly pretty bad about the turn I just had. And another reason I think, I actually remember thinking about this in hindsight, is actually for this exact situation. If I knock out something, Jeremy can actually get down Absol and turn off my Jirachi engine. So again, I forget what I was trying to get off the prizes, if anything specifically at all, but I think maybe if there was nothing important in prizes, the better play would have been just to swing into this active Zacian and force it to have to hard retreat into a damaged Lucario Melmetal, or force him to have like multiple switches. So it looks like Jeremy's actually gearing up to potentially attack with the Galarian Meowth at some point. So he's going to get a Metal Frying Pan. This is a first. Out of all the games I've played with the Zacian deck, I've yet to power up a Galarian Meowth. So this is, this is definitely a first. So here it looks like he's going to Mallow and Lana into the Meowth. I guess that's okay. He's just trying to protect this Zacian. Like, if he's not going to get a prize, he wants to keep that Zacian out of harm's way. I understand that. So here I'm going to get down a... Looks like a... I almost said Rescue Energy. Recycle Energy on this Morpeko. So honestly, this turn, I'm probably just going to take a turn off and just kind of recharge this Morpeko. But I can actually afford to do it because I'm pretty sure Jeremy's actually out of Pokemon catchers. This current list that I have him playing only has 3. So I'm pretty sure they're all gone at this point. And that actually might be what I'm checking here. And I'm just going to go for a Volkner, grabbing a Lightning Energy, and we'll have to see what else. Could go for Switch. It looks like that's what I'm eyeing down here in particular. Gonna go for... Okay, so I definitely cannot do this. Yeah, it's actually my first time looking back at this footage. I actually cannot grab Rosa off of Volkner. So that's actually, like, super illegal. Yeah, that's definitely bad, because Volkner only lets you grab item cards, guys. I guess I just had, like, a brain fart in the moment there. Now, I mean, I have, like, basically everything on board I need to keep attacking, but I definitely should not be allowed to get Roses. So if you're watching this, guys, I'm sorry about that one. We didn't catch that, apparently. But hopefully it's not a big deal. Hopefully I just go for the Marnie next turn, because I think I have a Marnie in hand, if I saw correctly. Like, just hopefully it doesn't impact the game is all I'm saying. So here I'm just going to promote this Morpeko V. I'm going to attach And again, just hoping I go for the Marnie, that way it doesn't impact the game at all. But I'm really not sure what I would even want here, to be honest. And unfortunately, I am going to go for the Rosa. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. That's so bad. So, yeah, definitely didn't catch this at the time. My apologies for this one. But let's see what's going to happen from here. I'm going to grab a custom catcher and a Mew, it appears. Going to get down Jirachi. And let's see, I'm going to use a Rangaroo, put I think it was a custom catcher back on top of my deck. And just attack. Knocking out the Galarian Meowth here. So let's see what Jeremy's going to do. He's going to promote this Jirachi. Now, he does have to remember Absol is in play, so that is kind of bad. But I think at this point, Jeremy was about to deck out anyway, so I think even if I played the... Whether I played or didn't play the Rosa, I don't think it actually impacted how this game goes, because I think Jeremy literally has like 2 cards left in deck. Yeah, literally 2 cards left in deck, so it really, I think, made no difference in terms of the outcome here, because I think I'm in a position to win. Because Jeremy can't get around this Lillie Pokédoll, and he has to take 3 prizes in 2 turns, essentially, and he just can't do that. So either way, it doesn't really change if he'll deck out or not. So again, sorry about the rest play, guys. I feel really terrible about that, but luckily it doesn't look like too much has changed as a result from this. So it looks like Jeremy is probably going to get rid of, or attack into this Lillie's Pokédoll. I'm going to, looks like, get down Recycle Energy. Get down Mew. And yeah, I can just attack and then let Jeremy knock out something, and even let him knock out something again, but he's still going to deck out because he has no way of actually gusting up this Morpeko now. So this game is like pretty much wrapped up at this point. We're just playing it out, guys, just to see you know, how it's going to look at when it's all said and done. But I'm pretty sure I have this game wrapped up at this point, because Jeremy doesn't have a way to shuffle in cards back into his deck. There's no like Ordinary Rod in the list that he's playing, nothing like that. So he's pretty much stuck with the contents of his deck right now. So you're just going to switch into Absol, and we'll see what he's going to do from here. He might even have to pass here. He's going to go for the Rangaroo, just replacing a card from his top deck. Not really sure what else he has access to. If he has a Metal Saucer, he could attack with this this Zacian, but here he's just going to pass. So this is basically all she wrote, because I can just retreat, and I think I should be able to knock this thing out. So here I'm going to go for a Quick Ball. Maybe just taking a peek through my deck, thinning a Morpeko V out of there. Well, actually, I don't think I can knock out this Zacian this turn, but either way, it's fine, guys. So I'm just going to retreat this Absol thanks to the escape board. Oh, here looks like I'm a little bit conflicted as to what I want to do. But here looks like I might just pass over to Jeremy here. Maybe I'm... Oh, I guess I'm going to try to go for the E-Powers I need to finish off the game here. So that's what I'm doing here. So, going to grab 5. I think I need an Electro Power to knock this thing out, because right now I'm only hitting for 90. Plus the E-Power is going to put the Zacian at 210. So yeah, I needed one more Electro Power, and could have gotten the knockout. But nevertheless, this Zacian's going to be hanging on with 10 HP. So I'm just going to switch into Morpeko, discard Recycle Energy, put back the Absol back. And Jeremy can retreat, but worst case scenario, I have Mew, and he also just loses because he decks out here. So that's basically going to be it for this game. Again, guys, really sorry about that Rosa play. I feel really bad about that. But like I said, it did not impact the outcome of the game at all in the end, so we're good. So the Morpeko V is ultimately going to kind of run Jeremy out of resources in this first match that we have here. So you can see Jeremy is having to expend a lot of resources just to be able to get set up and get a Pokemon that could knock out these Pokédolls throughout the game. So Jeremy was actually taking a lot of knockouts, it's just they didn't happen to actually be giving him prize cards. That was kind of the issue there. But of course, guys, we are going to do a best of 3 series. We'll have to see which deck is going to emerge victorious overall. So Jeremy definitely has a chance to bring it back here. So just getting set up, it appears. And just a quick plug too, guys, if you are interested in any of the playmats you see in this video, if you guys go to rarecandytcg.com, we have those on sale over there. All the support really helps out the channel a lot. So here it looks like we're just discussing something before we get set up. So Jeremy's going to draw 7 here. And I guess he's just waiting on me to finish shuffling up, it appears. And, ooh, my hand is god-awful. I didn't get a good look at Jeremy's, but mine is pretty terrible. So here it looks like I'm going to get to go first. I guess Jeremy let me go first here. The first turn rules did change. Of course, guys, you do have to remember you can't play supporters turn 1. So maybe Jeremy just was like, you know what, we're going to see how going second is with this deck. See how we can attack with Lucario Melmetal on turn 1. So that seems pretty cool. So I have to see which way it's going to go. But yeah, this hand, pretty bad that I have right now. Looks like I'm considering maybe playing down my hand to be able to use Custom Catcher. But it looks like I might be passing instead. So it looks like Jeremy actually did get the Lucario Melmetal, so going second actually might be kind of good here if he can just find himself a switch. So he's going to get down the Metal Frying Pan. He's going to go for a tag call. So at the very least, he can actually guarantee himself the first turn attack with Mallow and Lana if he does choose to. So he is going to go for the Mallow and Lana here. We'll have to see if he's going to use that or if he's going to try to find himself a switch or a skateboard with like the Cynthia and Caitlin or something like that. I think I see a Metal Saucer in hand, so he might be considering going for the Cynthia and Caitlin, it appears. So he's going to discard a Metal Energy, draw 3 cards, so that does allow him to get a Metal Saucer live and activated now. And he did get the skateboard as well, so he's going to be good to go. He's going to be able to pull off the first turn Full Metal Wall GX. So going second actually kind of worked out for him in this game here. So, I mean, that's one thing that I think people will have to really think about going forward is what decks do they want to go second with? Because certain decks, I think, benefit more and less than others with the new first turn rules. Here, Jeremy's going to go for a Stellar Wish before retreating inevitably into this Lucario Melmetal GX. So just going to grab himself another Metal Saucer. And then I'm guessing from there, guys, we'll just see him retreat into this Lucario Melmetal and use that Full Metal Wall GX attack. So yeah, going to do that. All of his damage to his metal Pokemon are going to be reduced by 30 for the rest of the game. And here it looks like I top deck a Marnie, which is great. So Jeremy's going to get 4 cards. I'm going to get 5. I do finally find a Lightning Energy. That's definitely good. And it looks like I'm debating where I want to attach. I'm going to attach to the bench just because Jeremy does have a way at potentially getting a knockout on my Morpeko V. So I definitely want to kind of start building up a safer Pokemon on the bench. So Jeremy's actually going to get down 2 really important cards. He's going to get down the Chaotic Swell, which means I can't get down Thunder Mountain for the rest of the game. And then he has the Absol, making my Jirachi engine, you know, pretty clunky. So it looks like he's attaching to the active, maybe gearing up for a Steel Fist potentially. I think depending on what his hand's like, I almost kind of wouldn't mind seeing that Metal Energy come down to the Zacian on the bench potentially. It really just depends on what else is in his hand here. So he's probably thinking, does he want to attack? Does he want to use Intrepid Sword? And here, okay, yeah, it looks like we are discussing that. Like, what would probably be the best line of play in this situation? So here we're saying, you know what? We're going to attach to the Zacian, because if we use Intrepid Sword next turn, we can just switch, attach 1 energy, and guarantee a knockout on this Morpeko. So that's what Jeremy ultimately decided with. I like that play too, because his hand was pretty bad. He definitely needed to use Intrepid Sword there, not Steel Fist. And did I just pass back over to him? Yeah, I guess my hand's pretty dead. I have the Rosa, so I guess my hand's good. It's just It's only good if Jeremy decides to knock out something. So let's see what he's going to go for this turn. I think I do see a switch in hand, but does he have a metal energy? That's the one thing he is missing right now. So he's going to go for a quick ball, discarding a Galarian Berserker, it appears. And so he does have the Dedenne GX, I believe, in the list, but it looks like he's going to go for a Ranger. I think we had one game where the Dedenne is prized, so this might actually even be the game. But he's going to go for the Oranguru, so that's going to be another consistency boosting card he can use even from the bench. So we saw he had Switch in hand. If he can hit a Metal Energy here, that's going to be really big for him. So here, going to place a card in his hand with the top card of his deck, and unfortunately I don't see a Metal Energy. That's definitely a bit of a heartbreaker because he wants to capitalize on this Dedenne being in the active spot. And it's one of those things too, if this Absol wasn't in play, he would be able to just switch into Jirachi and, you know, just go for a Stellar Wish, try to hit a draw supporter, and be good to go. And I guess he still theoretically could, but it looks like he's going to go for another Intrepid Sword just to refill his hand a little bit more here. And I'm just going to pass back over to Jeremy. So a big game of chicken is what we have right now. Jeremy's going to go for the Tag Call, it appears. Going to go for Cynthia Caitlyn, probably a Mallow and Lana as well. So let's see what route is he going to go here. I'd imagine we'll probably see him go for the Cynthia and Caitlyn just because he needs Metal Energy specifically. So he's going to go for Pokemon Catcher, trying to target down this, probably Dedenne on the bench, but I think it's fine even if he doesn't do that. Like, I feel like it's fine even if he knocks out the active. So you guys see, we are doing pretty bad on coin flips. I think game one, between both of us, only flipped one heads between all 5 of our flips. So it looks like he's going to go for, what was that, Cynthia and Caitlyn? And he does get Metal Frying Pan, but I think I still don't see any energy. Oh, and here he does have Dedenne, so maybe this isn't the game where Dedenne was prized. Either way, his hand is pretty big, but is he going to actually Dedenne it away? That's the question. He's going to put that Mallow and Lana, and he did get a Metal Energy. So, a Oranguru coming in clutch here, and he's going to be able to switch, take a knockout on this Morpeko V, and, you know, climb ahead in the prize exchange a little bit here. So now I can actually put forward the Morpeko V here. And I'm going to draw a card, get a Volkner. Definitely want to play Rosa though. I have Counter Gain in hand ready to go as well. So definitely a decent turn. I'm going to go for Lightning Energy. Looks like Jirachi potentially. And we'll have to see what else I might consider from there. But what trainer card do I get? That's kind of the next question. Maybe just another Rosa. I don't think that's that bad either. We'll have to see what route I'm ultimately going to go. Going to go for Jirachi. And what do I have in hand? I think I have some Electro Powers. So just going to go for another Rosa, setting myself up for the next turn to have another good response if Jeremy does decide to knock out my Lillie's Pokédoll that I'm inevitably going to promote after I attack. So here, just trying to think what I want to do. Going to get down another Pokédoll and attack this Zacian V. It looks like for 90 damage. But here I'm going to go for a reset stamp first, just because Jeremy did take a knockout on that last turn. So going to put him down at a 4-card hand. And just try to limit his options and basically just make sure he can't find Pokemon Catcher to knock out my Morpeko. That's the big thing that I'm kind of scared of here. So let's see what Jeremy can do this turn. See a Metal Energy in his hand. I think that's an Escape Board as well. So here he's going to go for a Oranguru. Yeah, I see a Skateboard. It's hard for me to get a good look at what else is in his hand beyond that. So here he's going to get down another Metal Energy onto this Lucario Melmetal. So if he has a switch, I actually wouldn't mind seeing him switch and knock out this Pokédoll with the Lucario Melmetal. But here he's just going to go for an Intrepid Sword, it looks like. So it looks like the... or well, here he's second-guessing himself. Okay, so he is going to go for the switch and just knock out this Pokédoll. So he's trying to get these Pokédolls out of the game as quick as possible. That way he can start taking some prizes. So here he's going to go for that Steel Fist, 50 damage, and he can get a Metal Energy out of the discard pile onto this Lucario Melmetal. So I'm going to go for a Rosa, since Lillie's Pokédoll does count as a Pokemon when it's knocked out. Rosa will activate. I'm going to go for Lightning Energy, Morpeko V, and it really just depends on what's in my hand here. I actually wouldn't mind going after this Absol at some point. I'll have to see what else is in my hand. If I have Custom Catcher in hand, I wouldn't mind going for the Absol. If I don't, probably just go for a Supporter or something like that, just for the following turn. So here it looks like I am going to go for the Custom Catcher. Maybe I have the other piece in hand, or maybe I'm just kind of setting my hand up just to maybe find the next piece soon or something like that. We'll have to see. So going to get down another Morpeko V, get an attachment on the current one, and just attack into this Lucario Melmetal, promoting the Lillie's Pokédoll, it appears. So it looks like Jeremy has another Zacian V, so he can definitely start powering that one up as well. Seems good since he does start to have some damage on his other attackers. So we're going to see a Rangaroo come into action there. Let's see what he can get. And I think I saw a Pokemon Catcher, but I think he would need a way to switch if he wants to knock that out. But here's just going to go for a Steel Fist, getting another energy probably on this Lucario Melmetal here. So I believe I have a Volkner in hand, so I actually can go for another Custom Catcher if I do choose to go that route. Let's see, right now I'm doing minus 60 to this Lucario Melmetal, so I have to do 230 to it, I believe, to take a knockout, so that's probably not happening. So we're just going to go for the Custom Catcher. And this is the game. Yeah, I'm going to go for Absol, taking that out of play just because I'm very reliant on these Jirachis to kind of keep my deck coasting along. And I think taking that thing out in the long term is going to be really, really good for the deck. So just going to pivot into another Pokédoll, get a prize card in the process. And I'm still behind on prizes, which is actually kind of nice because that keeps my counter gain active as well. So here, Jeremy is going to go for Pokemon Catcher and another Tails, man. You guys, I have to change the die I'm using because you guys have seen between both of our flips over these two games, we've had one single coin flip heads. Stadium Nav has failed, the catchers have failed other than the one back in game one. So Jeremy's going to replace that top deck with his Rangaroo there. So definitely a big swing and a miss for Jeremy's deck here. And it looks like he's just going to go for an Intrepid Sword, so maybe his hand is kind of bad. So unfortunately no energy to attach, but at least he's able to draw some cards. So definitely a big whiff on Jeremy's part here. So it looks like I am going to get down a Recycle Energy, but the issue is I'm pretty sure my Tapu Koko is prized this game. So yeah, so I definitely messed up here. I definitely should have quick balled first before attaching because there's literally no reason to attach before going for the quick ball. So here I'm going to go for the Jirachi, and I believe this might have been a game, or maybe Jeremy let me take that back in this instance because I don't need to play the Recycle Energy to play quick ball first. So I forget what ends up happening here, but I think Jeremy might have let me take this play back if I remember correctly. Okay, yeah, so that is going to be the case. Like I said, there's literally no reason to play Recycle Energy first, so it really doesn't matter too much there. So, and guys, we're just playing for fun these games. This isn't a tournament, so just for testing purposes, we really don't mind each other taking back like small misplays like that, or like maybe some small sequencing errors, like when it actually doesn't affect really anything here. So now at this point, I can just play Marnie, and if I find myself a Lightning Energy, I should be able to attack into this Zacian. So here another thing, I'm hesitant about getting down the Electro Power because I would need Lightning Energy and an additional Electro Power to knock out this Zacian. So here I'm just going to say I probably won't hit it, so we're not going to play the Electro Power. Alright, so I do find the Lightning Energy. That's good. So that is exactly why you play a Quick Ball before making your attachment for turn. So here it looks like I'm going to go for another Quick Ball, discarding Pokemon Communication. And it looks like I'm just going for a Tapu Koko V just to thin it out of my deck. And I'm going to get a skateboard down this Jirachi. And I actually would have found myself the Electro Power to be able to pull this off. So I would have needed Electro Power, a skateboard, and a Lightning Energy prior to the Marnie. And I thought like the odds for me to hit all that weren't there, so maybe if I'd gotten a little bit greedier there, that would have paid off. But here, if nothing else, just going to take my time, guys. Going to sacrifice this Jirachi here. Let that get knocked out. And it looks like Jeremy did top deck. I think he has a Mallow and Lannis. That definitely could be good since this active Zacian V is pretty beat up. So I think I want to see that from Jeremy. Yeah, and he is going to go for the Mallow and Lannis. And it looks like he is contemplating making some discards. So he does want to heal that 120. That definitely seems good. Okay, so he's going to get rid of a Quick Ball. And I did not get a good look at the other card, but here he's going to be able to switch, heal 120. Going down to what he had 180 before, so just 60 on this Zacian right now. And here he's going to get a manual attachment down on the fresh Zacian. I like that as well. So pretty good turn from Jeremy. Good response to everything I did on this last turn. And this Lucario Melmetal can do 150 and knock out this Jirachi as well, getting himself another prize too. But here he's going to go for a Deandre GX. So hopefully the Dedenne does not come back to bite him, because my list does play Great Catcher in addition to the customs that I have in my deck as well. So hopefully the Dedenne does not come back to bite him. I'm not sure if he actually needed to even play it, just because he already found what he needed to get a knockout for this turn. So I think I would have rather have seen Jeremy just hang on for one more turn, see what he gets off his prize and off his top deck before committing to it. Oh, and here I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, Jeremy's just getting a new hand off Marnie. I got confused when I saw him drawing cards for a second. Going back over to me, I find myself Great Catcher, so Jeremy might even get punished for putting down this this Dedenne. So it looks like that is going to be the case. I'm going to bring that up. Normally I would like to save my Great Catcher for the end, but my Tapu Koko Prism Star is in the prizes, and I really want to fish that out actually. So that's why I am going a little bit aggressive, taking out that Dedenne preemptively. Unfortunately, I don't find it, but I did get, looks like, Morpeko V Max. It appears that could be a good finisher in this match at some point. We'll have to see. So it looks like Jeremy is going to bring up this Zacian. Looks like he's thinking about trying to protect his Lucario and Melmetal GX, just because I have 3 prizes left, and if that thing goes down, he's going to lose the game here. So he's going to go for that ability on a Oranguru. And going to go for a Pokemon Catcher. Hopefully Jeremy can hit a heads. We've really had bad luck with this with this thing. Jeez. So what are we at? 1 for 7 on coin flips throughout this series so far? So yeah, that's actually like really, really bad. You can't help but think if like even one of these coin flips had gone the other way in both of these matches, like maybe how much different Jeremy's position would be. So let's see what else he's going to do this turn. I imagine we'll probably just see him knock out the Pokédoll here. He wants to get those out of play as soon as possible. Here I'm going to promote Jirachi, find myself a custom catcher. I don't think I can actually knock out the Lucario and Melmetal, though it still has a good bit of HP. So I found myself another Lillie's Pokédoll. That's definitely good. Looks like also going to play Volkner, so of course get a Lightning Energy. And what's the other item card I want? Could go for Skateboard, could go for Switch. I think Switch is fine. So it looks like I'm going to discard it just to kind of thin some cards out of my deck. And okay, it looks like I got a Oranguru off of the prizes last turn as well. So want to get that down just to increase my consistency a little bit with that card too. So from there, I definitely want to attach that lightning energy. And yeah, I actually can't even attack this turn because we're on the same amount of prizes now that counter gain has been deactivated. So here, I just have to retreat into a Ranguru and sacrifice it. So let's see what Jeremy's going to do here. He can't attack again with this Zacian. He's going to have to find himself a switching method or just hard retreat. So he's just thinking, what does he want to get with this quick ball, if anything at all? Looks like he's eyeing down Dustmane, Necrozma. That's another card that's like pretty decent, but pretty bad in this particular matchup. But here he's going to get himself another Zacian V. So he's going to get down Galarian, looks like Galarian Meowth. I'm not sure how much I like it just because I'm pretty sure he discarded Berserker at the beginning of the game. And I'm pretty sure I'm out of Pokédolls at this point too. So I don't even think the 30 damage it can do is very relevant here. So let's see what he's going to do. I think I would almost rather see him like commit more energy to this active Zacian and just retreat it. Or just get down another Zacian and start powering a fresh one up instead. So here he is going to go for a switch. And just take a knockout on this Oranguru. Alright, that seems good. So I'm going to go for a Stellar Wish to start off the turn. Fine, quite a few things there. Could get Marnie, could get E-Power, Custom Catcher. Just depends on what I'm trying to do here at this point. So I don't think I'm still within range of knocking out this Lucario Melmetal, so I think I'm just content just attacking into a Zacian V yet again this turn if possible. And I believe this is my last Pokédoll, so I do need to kind of get the ball moving on closing out this game before I run out of wall Pokemon to keep promoting. So here I'm going to go for a Marnie yet again here. And looks like I did draw Recycle Energy. Kind of bummed I did already attach the Lightning for turn, but that's okay. I can always attach Recycle for the rest of the game. So here I'm just going to discard that Metal, or not Metal Energy, but that Lightning Energy, promote Lillie's Pokédoll, and let's see what Jeremy's going to do. So it looks like he's going to get down a Skateboard onto the Meowth. I think actually if he was going to do anything like that, I think he actually probably should have started powering up Jirachi, as weird as that is, because its attack does 30 damage if I remember correctly. So it would be able to do the same thing as the Meowth, but also it gives him the option at using a Stellar Wish at some point and retreating. So I think maybe I would have liked to have seen that instead of going for the Meowth sort of play. But here, it looks like he's going to switch into Lucario Melmetal. Actually, not a big fan of this because that now kind of like opens me up to potentially winning. So here he is going to knock out the Pokédoll, but I understand why he's doing it. The Lucario Melmetal, its attack is a lot less limiting. It's a much better attacker at knocking out Pokédolls than Zacian is, because it just does 50, no drawback. So here I'm going to go for a Stellar Wish, but this of course does now open him up to now losing the game potentially. So I'm just checking my hand to see if I have what it takes to pull off the win this turn. And I think I have a couple of modifiers I could theoretically get there. So he's at 90 right now. He has a 60 reduction in play. So I have to do 230. So I'm going to go for Volkner, grabbing another E-Power. So I have the Morpeko V Max. Morpeko V Max does 180 and 20 spread everything. And now I should have enough damage in play to actually knock this thing out because Morpeko's going to hit for 180. One E-Power is going to bump that up to 210. And our one's going to bump that up to 240, doing you know, basically just enough to knock out this Lucario Melmetal GX for the game. So I understand why Jeremy went the route of the Lucario Melmetal there, but definitely backfired a little bit. I think maybe he should have just forced me to deal with a Zacian there. But again, he didn't know I had all of the modifiers I needed to pull off the win, but just how it goes sometimes. So as you guys can see, the Morpeko V Pokédoll deck is going to take the win here. I will have deck profiles posted for both these decks in the coming days with links down in the description whenever they go up, so be on the lookout for those. But if you guys did enjoy this content today, feel free to like and subscribe and consider supporting this channel by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/rarecandytcg or by picking up some merch from our online store rarecandytcg.com. It would mean a lot. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.